85 miles east of St. Paul and 320 miles northwest of Chicago, at the junction of the Eau Claire and Chippewa rivers, section 29 and 30, township 27 north, range 9 west, in the state of Wisconsin, stands 275 acres of land under title to the state. Land dedicated to the extension of intellectual, social, and cultural opportunities to 3,000 students each day. The student is a hybrid creature. He may be an undergraduate, a graduate student. He may be a foreign student or a student in one of the professions. He may live in a dormitory or commute from home. Perhaps he is married. He may have to spend a portion of his time working to pay his expenses. Whatever the case, it is obvious that today's student cannot be fitted into a convenient pigeonhole. He is a complex individual. What does he seek? What does he find? He seeks the knowledge and skills which will lead to a meaningful way of life for himself and a more promising and secure future for his country. And what does he find? He finds himself a part of college life, an ever-changing pattern. He is a part of this pattern, changing along with it, widening and deepening his learning dimensions. Tonight, in an effort to examine that pattern in general, by focusing on a specific, we take you to 1600 Park Avenue, the gateway to our campus. The student of higher education finds long-standing tradition and a spirit of progress, a scene of physical and educational change, new buildings to meet the needs of a growing campus, opportunities to develop his intellectual abilities into practical realities. But because the student is a complex individual, the college has had to develop its facilities to meet the needs of a wide variety of students and the dictates of a changing world. How the college has met this challenge for nearly a half a century is a story in itself. A story soon to be published by Miss Laura Sutherland, Professor Emeritus, who is with us this evening to give you some of the highlights of that story.
The first date in the history of our college is 1893. In July of that year, Mr. O.H. Ingram answered a letter from Mr. John S. Owen to the effect that he would be happy to help the college, the city, secure a college at Eau Claire. A number of citizens, including some lumbermen, had been anxious to increase the cultural activities of this area. A number of them went down to the Regents in Madison in 1893, asking for a normal school. The school went to Stevens Point. In 1896, they tried again. Superior got that school. One more defeat before 1900, and they realized that the community must be organized, it must be roused, a site must be given the state by the city, and Eau Claire must have a regent. The first regent appointed was Emmett Horan. He knew that this appointment meant that he must get the school for Eau Claire. The community organized further. Numbers of sites were offered. Of these, one was on Carson Park, Another was 30 acres along the south shore of the Eau Claire River beyond the country club golf course. The third was the present site of the college. The park company offered this to the city, 12 acres for $12,000. Henry C. Puntman was the principal owner of the park company. That land was offered to the state in 1909, but it didn't assure that the college would come to Eau Claire. In 1911, after much effort by the community, a little money was granted to improve the grounds of all things before there was a building. And then we might not have had the school were it not that a number of citizens in this community were well known in Madison. One of them served as spokesman, Roy P. Wilcox. He addressed the regents, and he worked quietly with the legislature. In 1913, the money was appropriated for the first building, to be begun in 1914. Schofield Hall, as this building was later called, was beautifully built. At a cost of $250,000, it has proved a real bargain. This price included some of the equipment and the heating plant. After that, there was no further building on the campus of any importance for over 30 years, but the campus was extended. The college had no athletic field. The East Campus was graded and seated with the idea of that being the athletic field. But Judge Wickham, who lived in the home just east of the campus where the Luther Center now is, decided that that was a poor place for the athletic field. He quietly purchased land south of Main Hall and offered it to the state at a nominal price. This became our athletic field and remained so until a few years ago. Again, John S. Owen, with much foresight, knew that the time would come when this school would need more land. He reserved land above the bluff. This was purchased in 1947. We're all familiar with the grant of Putnam Park to the state and to the city, a bluff extending from Harding Avenue to a point beyond Hendrickson Field, mostly wooded and held in trust by our college as a memorial to the days of the beautiful trees of the area. 275 acres in all on our campus. When it became apparent that our school would open in 1916, the Regents selected the first president, Harvey A. Schofield, a native of the county and a man with a distinguished career as principal of the Central High School in Superior and of a large high school in St. Paul. To him fell the task of developing a school which had much future but no traditions. His first task was to choose the first faculty. Some of these remained with the college for many years. Charles J. Brewer, well known in northern Wisconsin. George L. Simpson, the beloved coach of the first football team. He was a teacher of geography, had the best collection of maps in the state. A.J. Fox, who devoted his life to improving the curriculum at Eau Claire. Hilda Bell Oxby, whose courses early won recognition at the university for excellence. There were 21 in all. There was one financial clerk, one librarian, 2 stenographers, a janitor, and an engineer. When the college opened that September, at the first assembly on the 3rd day of registration, there were 158 students present. Of these, 18 were men, not enough for a football squad. But what the students lacked in numbers, they made up in enthusiasm and in genuine college loyalty. During the next dozen years, they established the pattern that is still with us of college activities. There was a choir, there were debating and forensic students, there was a letter club, social activities and organization. At that time, people might enroll in a school who had a first grade certificate and a few years of successful teaching. There was a 1-year course leading to a diploma and a 2-year course leading to a diploma for teachers preparing for the grades. But there was also a 3-year high school course, the first 2 years of which were entirely academic. Students were encouraged to take this course, students who planned to transfer to the university, and they were able to do so, grades permitting, with success and graduate there. This course also gave to the college, the then normal school, the opportunity to develop into a teacher's college. The legislature had granted this privilege as early as 23, and in 27, Eau Claire graduated 8 students with a degree of Bachelor of Education. The next 20 years, the faculty worked diligently to expand the curriculum and to improve the quality of the instruction. Some wonderful students graduated during that period, but that was not enough. Eau Claire needed accreditation. They received accreditation from the Association of Teachers' Colleges in the nation, but they needed also accreditation by the North Central Association. Only the best would do. In 1948, when Mr. Fox retired and President Haas became Regent and Dean of Instruction, much progress had been made. After great effort during the next 2 years, the college was accredited by the North Central Association. That was in 1950. In 1951, the regents made the teachers' colleges, granted them the privilege of having liberal arts. This was a great step forward. But in the meantime, what of the expansion of the school? Just before the Second War, there were 700 college students in attendance and a faculty of about 50. The war came. Following the war, the veterans came back in numbers. We were still having only the one building for all of our activities, including the campus school. With 200 in the campus school and 700 enrolled, or approximately that, about 900 people were using one building every day. There must be further building. In 1941, President W.R. Davies succeeded President Schofield. He knew that there must be further building. He started with the area committee. He selected from the northern part of the state leading citizens already interested in the college, but gave them the opportunity to do more. Twice each year, this group of distinguished people come to the college to be briefed on its activities and its needs. In 1945, Mr. William D. McIntyre was made regent, and Eugene R. McPhee, an alumnus of the school, a member of the faculty, was made secretary to the Board of Regents in 1948. Events began to move. The first breakthrough for the college was the purchase of Memorial Hall. The two upper floors became the first women's dormitory, and the beautiful main floor gave to the college its first real opportunity for a delightful place for social activities. This continued until Catherine Thomas Hall was built, the first full dormitory for women. The lounge in Catherine Thomas Hall was put there primarily to give to the college a larger place for major social activities. The first real building program at the college was the construction of those buildings on Park and Garfield. The campus school now had a home. Next, on the corner of Park and Garfield, was a beautiful college theater planned by Earl Kerr. On Garfield, Brewer Hall and the physical education building, popularly called the Field House. But the college needed more building. And as the years went on, the last years of President Davies were very exciting because of the building. You may not realize that some of these buildings are very recent. Catherine Putnam Hall was built. It was named for Catherine Putnam because she eased the title to the lands of Putnam Park. The W.R. Davies Center was completed while Mr. Davies was still with us. The beautiful new library, the William D. McIntyre Library, was completed and dedicated during the first year of President Haas's administration. Building construction goes on in the effort to keep up with the growing needs of the youth of our land.
Before taking a closer look at this building rush and the future plans of the college, both in terms of curriculum and buildings, let us first return to 1951 and examine the expansion of academic offerings at Eau Claire. Who better qualified to lead us in that discussion than Dr. Richard E. Hibbard, Vice President of Academic Affairs.
The program at the college, as has already been indicated, has surely been anything but static. In the first years of the campus activity, it is altogether likely that events seem to move somewhat slowly. But the pace has rapidly accelerated, and we are moving on, we believe, to even greater opportunities. But as we proceed toward this new maturity which is coming to us, we see that the campus and the college program has altered from that of what might be described as a single-purpose program, namely an institution concerned essentially with teacher education, to a program which is better defined as multi-purpose. There are a variety of things which we're attempting to do, and a variety of programs which we're attempting to put forth. Thus, there are in some ways that it would appear that we're proceeding toward a university-type situation. This is evidenced in a number of ways. For one thing, it's already been suggested that the program in liberal arts is becoming quite important. As a matter of fact, at the present time, about half of the students who will be graduating in the June commencement, which is shortly to come to us, will be in the liberal arts. This is an area of activity which is somewhat traditional in the American college community. It's an area which provides a great breadth and a great variety of opportunities for students who wish to pursue it. In addition to the change to the program in the liberal arts, a great variety of special programs have also been added to the college curriculum. For example, we have moved into the area of special education to the mentally retarded, speech correction. We offer a degree program in medical technology. And the most recent major curricular change is has been to move into graduate offerings and graduate work. That suggests something of the pace by means of which we have achieved the status which we have now. But better yet, we might ask ourselves, by what steps have we accomplished this? We have accomplished it, I would think, primarily by the selection of our students, recognizing that students must come to the campus who possess the capability to pursue a program. At the same time, we truly believe that a student who does indicate that he has the capacity and that he can profit from a college experience should be provided with that chance. We would go on further and suggest that as an institution we believe that we should have a dedicated faculty, a well-prepared faculty, a truly dedicated faculty. We believe that the total college experience and that the college community should provide our students with that background which will enable them to move from the campus into society as worthwhile, helpful, and individuals who can contribute to the service of the community in which they will live. Quite properly, we ask ourselves, how do we attempt to accomplish this? We try to do it in perhaps three ways. One is to indicate that every student should have an opportunity to pursue a program in depth. We believe that the student should know what he's talking about, that he should be able to experience deeply the areas in which he would seek to study and in which he would seek ultimately to serve. With this in mind, we now have 25 areas of specialization which we refer to as our majors. This then is our program in depth. But more than that, we believe that an educated person should have an experience in breadth, that he should know something of the total world community of which he is a part and which is going to be so important to him as he moves in society. And this is the foundation of our general education program. Every student is expected to work in the area of the liberal arts, of the social sciences, of the humanities, and in the sciences. Believing all this, setting a program as we have established a program, looking forward to a future with confidence, we know that our student body must be capable. We know that we must have a faculty which is dedicated and scholarly. We know that we must have those physical facilities which will make it possible for us to establish a framework in which this work might be done.
Not only has the college grown academically, it has grown physically as well and will continue to do so. The growth of any college campus is of vital concern to the college administration, for it is a major concern of the administration to provide adequate facilities to meet campus needs. Heading the administration is the president at Wisconsin State College-Eau Claire, President Leonard Haas.
The college community is a community within a community. Of the approximately 40,000 people who live in the city of Eau Claire, 1/10, or approximately 4,000, will be found on the college campus any day of the week during this next academic year. The college community today consists of some 2,900 students and 175 members of the faculty. But in September of 1964, the community will consist of 3,300 students, more than 200 members of the faculty, 300 children who attend the campus laboratory school, some 200 maintenance and clerical workers who find their employment on the college campus, Here in this graph, you will note the rising enrollment that is taking place at our college. From 2,900 students this last fall, it is expected that the enrollment on this campus will rise to some 7,500 students by 1972. It is a part of the growth of this college that has made necessary the great expansion program on the college campus. This community of some 4,000 people has a tremendous impact upon the city of Eau Claire and the wider area served by the college. In the economic life of the community, this college makes itself felt through the expenditure of millions of dollars each year. This year, the college is operating under a budget of some $2,500,000. Of this sum, $1,800,000 is used for wages and salaries. Some $400,000 is spent within the self-liquidating or rotating funds of the college. And some $300,000 is spent on material and supplies. The $2.5 million budget is further augmented by the expenditures of the students on the campus. And in an enrollment of some 2,900 students, we expect approximately 250 students who are heads of families, are married, are spending approximately $3,000 a year in our city as an individual family unit. Some 1,400 students who are living within the city of Eau Claire are either in residence halls, where there are 900 of them, or some 500 of them who are living in private homes within the city. These students are spending an average of $1,000 per year while they are here in Eau Claire. In addition to these, of course, are the students who live at home and who commute to the campus. These students spend on the average approximately $600 a year, which would not otherwise be spent in the community. All of this means that the students are bringing into the community close to $3 million each year. Or to put it another way, the college and the community, is bringing some $5 million that makes a tremendous economic impact on our total area. It is not only in the economic realm, however, that the college activity is felt. The college becomes the cultural center of the community. The programs that are established in the area of music, of forensics, of drama, the public speakers that are brought to the platform from all parts of the world, the constant center of attention that brings a cultural attaché from France, as happened here a week ago, or a cultural attaché from Sweden, who will be here during this next week, indicates something of the scope of the cultural activities of the college. The entire area looks to the college as the center for its cultural life. In order that the college can carry on its program, there must be the physical plant. And to many people, this represents the college. This is only one aspect of it, but a very significant one. The college plant today is valued at some $11 million. Currently under construction is the new L.E. Phillips Science Hall, which is to be found here in the picture on my right. This $2.5 million building is scheduled for completion by September 1 of this year. There is a major addition to the college center, which is the heart of the social life for the students on the campus. This $800,000 addition is also scheduled for completion in September of this year. In June of this year, construction will begin on 2 new residence halls on the upper campus, along with a new food service building. These are the first in a series of new developments on the upper campus that will bring eventually several thousand students in residence on the upper campus. And last Friday, the Board of Regents of Wisconsin State Colleges has authorized $8 million worth of new buildings for the college, which will include the Fine Arts Hall, the library addition, the heating plant, an addition to the library, and eventually a new social science building. These will give us the facilities to accommodate the population that is expected.